Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So I've got a comparison here that some people requested, some people didn't. Nonetheless, I wanted to put these head to head because I think the ZMax Pro might have a nice challenger. I really think so. So let's start off with build quality. I'm going to jump right in here. Let's just start with build quality. The build quality on both of these phones is good. So I'm going to start with the ZMax Pro, and this is the ZMax Pro versus the Sony Xperia XA Ultra. So the ZMax Pro, you've heard me, this phone is loved by many people and it is actually a really solid performer. So the ZMax Pro has a 6-inch display and the Xperia XA Ultra has a 6-inch display. The ZMax Pro's display is a heck of a lot brighter than the Sony's display, but the Sony display looks a lot better to me. And I guess it's triluminous or whatever they call it. You can do the research yourself. The Sony display looks a heck of a lot better. They're both 6 inches, like I said. When it comes to the build quality of the displays and the phone that was put together, the Sony looks a heck of a lot better. It's a lot sleeker, it's slimmer, it's easier in the hand. While the ZMax Pro feels chubby next to this phone right here, and that's just the way it's built. This phone looks like it has no bezels, but there are some bezels there. You just got to go search for them, but it's really sleek. The ZMax Pro, on the other hand, has a brighter display. So in sunlight, you're definitely going to be able to see this display out. But I definitely give quality to the Sony, and that's just my opinion on that. Now, overall build quality, this has a fingerprint reader, and this one does not. So that's kind of a downer, releasing this phone with no fingerprint reader. But this also has 16 gigs of storage, talking about the hardware, and this has 32. And this has adaptive storage. This has an SD card too, but it doesn't have adaptive storage. This is a serious letdown. So fingerprint reader, adaptive storage, more onboard storage is definitely a win for the ZMax Pro. Now, physical build quality of this thing, 13 megapixel on the back, LED flash, power button is ridged, pretty nice, I like that. Volume rocker. They both have a headphone jack on the top, which I dislike. But this has USB Type-C, so that's a win for me at this point in the game because I'm having to use a 2.0 charger that I don't really want to use for this, but I got to use it. The ZMax wins in that category as far as the USB Type-C and adaptive storage, but they both have this headphone jack. Ugh. So the quality of this does not feel premium compared to the Sony. The Sony feels a heck of a lot more premium in the hand. It's sleek, it's slender, it's something new. It's just really, really nice. It's a good looking device. It's a great looking phone. It looks a lot better. It comes in different colors. It comes in like this lime green or white. It comes in just different colors. It looks really, really good. The ZMax Pro has a soft touch back and the Sony has a more slippery back. But the Sony has a much premium feel in hand also. They're both big phones, don't get me wrong. They may look small in my hands, but I have very big hands. People always comment saying, oh my gosh, how big are you? You got huge hands. Yeah, I do have big hands. I'm a big guy. And to that person that called me fat in another comment, I'm so far from fat. Anyway, this has 13 megapixels on the back. This has 21.5 megapixels on the back. This has a ginormous sensor on the front. You can see it there. That 16 megapixel camera with LED flash on the front. And this has an 8 megapixel. Now, just talking about camera qualities alone, the Sony definitely is a better camera than the ZMax Pro. Now, that's not because it has a 16 megapixel and a 21. That's just not what it's about. It's actually just a better set of cameras on here. Hardware wise though, overall, I definitely give it to the Sony. Like I said, this is just a very sleek device, feels premium. Now what I don't like about the Sony is this flap here for the SD card and the SIM tray. That is just so 2001. But overall though, it's really, really good. It's got a dedicated camera key. This is actually the power button right here, and this is the volume rocker. Now you would think that I would accidentally press this camera key, but I do not press it hardly ever. I've never started the camera. I'll say this, I press it, but it has never started the camera. I have never started the camera, and because you have to long press it. So that's kind of one of those things. But this setup is actually really nice. Now, where does the hardware wise, the Sony fails at? Probably it's a little slippery on the back, and the the ZMax Pro has a little bit more grip, but the Sony is so slim, I don't foresee myself dropping it too much, and I have a case for it and everything. Just this overall body is just much better than the ZMax Pro. That doesn't mean the ZMax Pro is a total fail. It just means that I prefer that. Let's jump ahead here to speaker quality and battery. Now, speaker quality on this thing. Now, the ZMax Pro, you've heard me say it, this is one of the loudest backfiring speakers I have ever heard on the phone. It's actually really loud because it has Dolby audio. But when it comes to sound quality, for those that have the Sony Xperia XA Ultra, you got to vouch for me in the comments. This has got to be one of the loudest speakers I have ever used on a bottom firing speaker on a smartphone. This smartphone speaker is so loud, it's unreal. It's louder than some dual firing speakers. It's just crazy. I don't know how they did that, but they did it. So, you know, speaker quality on here definitely goes to the Sony. But where the Sony definitely loses at is battery. Somehow Sony packed a 2700 milliamp hour battery in there, and why, I don't know. I don't know why they did that. They could have given this thing 3500 easy. But the ZMax Pro, some people always ask, you know, hey, how did you get 6 hours? How did you get 5 hours? But there's a lot of people out there that say, I get 5 hours, I get 6 hours. Well, this battery in here is definitely going to blow away the small 2700 milliamp hour battery in here. Definitely can push up 6 hours or more on this phone for screen on time. And this phone right here, top out at about 4.5. Now that I've been using it for a while. So it's not a bad thing, but you know, it's just one of those things. The battery life on the ZMax Pro is a lot better. That extra 2 hours is definitely appreciated. Now, performance on here is where the ZMax Pro actually does better. This has a Snapdragon 617, but at the same time, this has a Helio P10, and I've experienced some stutter and lag every now and then with this phone. So not a fan of that, but you know, the ZMax Pro performs better in overall day-to-day usage. Some apps on here take forever to load up, and I don't know what that's about. But it's just what it is. I think it's just based on that MediaTek processor, and it's nothing I can do about it. Is it a big letdown? No, it's not a big letdown. It's just kind of frustrating that they put a P10 in here. I would have taken a Snapdragon 435 in here, if anything, or Snapdragon 625. Anything over this Helio P10. It performs well, but it's definitely not the fastest performing phone that I've ever owned. So, how about the camera quality? So let's take a look at some video footage, and let's take a look at some photos. All right, guys, here's the rear video, the rear camera on the Sony XA Ultra. Don't have much to show you, but I got a messy desk for you. If your desk isn't messy, you ain't working, man. You're just acting like you're working. All right, quick sample of the front camera of the Sony XA Ultra. All right, guys, here's the rear camera on the ZMax Pro. Let's see. Messy desk once again. All right, guys, here's the front camera on the ZMax Pro. Just a quick sample. Okay, so what do you think? I'll let you decide on which one you think looks better. Now, let's talk about the final thing here, because I don't want to make this a very long video. Let's just jump to this, the price. The ZMax Pro wins with the price. There's just no other way to put it. Even if you find this phone on sale, you can't find it as low as price as the ZMax Pro. The ZMax Pro can be had for 39 bucks. And that's if you port a number into Metro PCS. They give you 60 bucks off instantly for people that always ask that question. But you know, the Sony tops out at, this phone was at one point almost 400 bucks. And now it's going on sale on and off for $300. And you can find them pre-owned, still can't find them pre-owned for less than 200 bucks in a lot of cases. And this phone tops out at $179 full cost. So that's just one of those things. You know, I don't know what to tell you. the ZMax Pro is still a budget king in price, but it's starting to meet some competition. Now, the question is, do you want to spend the money on the lesser amount on the ZMax Pro, or do you want to pick a more premium phone in hand, smooth cameras, speaker quality is good? ZMax Pro wins in battery, and performance is up a little bit, but the Sony has a much better set of cameras, a better screen, a better speakers. You know, no adaptive storage on here. That's another thing I missed out on. This only has 16 gigs of storage, man. What the heck is Sony thinking? The ZTE definitely wins in that category. So this is kind of a mixed bag for both of these. I would definitely recommend the ZMax Pro to a person over this phone because of the price. The price is just a winning factor for the ZMax Pro. And even though it does not edge out the XA Ultra in a lot of categories, it's still a fantastic purchase. And I still recommend it into 2017. So it's your man Jay Will. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.